Going to try the crystal technique now. I know Sheena Douglas, when she does it, she uses a clear floor polish. I didn't want to go out and buy some clear floor polish, but I have got some gloss varnish here. This is acrylic paint, so I was going to try it with that and see if that works. So I'm using the Pretty Pastels collection here, and I'm going to use number 5, 59 and number 55. So the first thing I'm going to do is to put the clear varnish on some, this is some heat proof acetate. So I'm just going to blow a load of that on there, and I'm going to do it this way around. There's just different ways to do it. Because I'm using a different product, I'm just going to try it this way around to see if this works. So because I haven't got any clear floor varnish, and of course a lot of you may not have, and I just thought some of you being crafters may have some clear varnish like this, so I thought we'd try it this way around. So just to give a liberal amount of that on there, and then I'm going to blob some of the colour on there too, keeping it quite separate. Just think these colours work really well together, and I must say I do love the colours of the Aqua Tints. They're so nice and vibrant, but there's so many different things you can do with them. When I first got them, I was a bit unsure, but I've really been impressed with how they've all come together. So, and then with your paintbrush again, just make a pattern. I'm not going too mad with joining it up because I don't want it to look too muddy looking. Okay, so that's right on top of that clear varnish. So okay, and then the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to sprinkle a bit of glitter, just normal glitter that you've all probably got in your crafty stash, just a little bit, not too much, just to give a different effect. And this is the beauty of these products, you can play so much and find different things you can do with them. It's great. Now you need a piece of tissue. This is just a normal tissue for blowing your nose on, and you need a single ply. So I've already used, I think, one. This was the 3-ply tissue, so there's the other 2 ply. So I'm going to take one of those away, and then I'm just going to lay that on top of what I've just done. And now at this stage, this is where you need to let it dry naturally, preferably overnight, but it does need to dry naturally. It's not the sort of thing you can go and force dry with a heat gun. So I'm just patting it all down so it's got a nice coverage, and the paper is soaking into the varnish and the Aqua Tints, because this will stay on here. We will trim round this. Okay, so you don't pull this one off like we did the cling film. So just pop all that on there. Now I've got to put this aside to dry overnight, and then we'll see what happens once it's dried overnight. But there's a sneak peek as to the effect you're going to get once it's dry, but that now really needs to dry, and then we can stamp something on there and use that. But I'm going to let that dry, and then we'll come back and have a look at it. Right, this has been left to dry now. This was our crystal technique, and as you can see, the paper towel is all now dry. I can see the glitter through it on this side. When you turn it over on the other side, it's a beautiful effect. It's probably hard to pick up on the camera, so it makes a great background. And what we need to do with this now is to just trim off. In fact, I'm going to put it in the paper trimmer, I think. Oh no, I'll cut it with the scissors. So I'll just cut it quite randomly to show you. So we can cut off these bits we don't need and pop it in your paper trimmer. You could put it through a die cut as well, anything you like really. So that's taken all that away. Now obviously depending on what you lay this against, it looks totally different. I mean, to lay it on the black gives a really nice effect, but so it is laying it against some white, if I can get some. So you can see you get different effects from the different ways that you lay it. Now obviously being a heat resistant acetate, we can now go ahead and put something on the top of this, and what I was thinking of doing was just printing a word, because this would then be for the card. So I've got one here ready on my rocker block. Everything's sticking to everything at the moment, so I've got a nice saying on here. Now obviously because this is acetate, I would recommend that you use some Stays-On to print with. So I'm going to go ahead with my Stays-On and just get that inked up nicely. Make sure that's all nicely covered, and then make sure it's the right way around, and then we can print that onto there, and that says follow your heart, which looks really nice on there. And then what I'm going to do is, this is a bit big on this block, but I will put it on there. I've got another little heart that we can ink up as well. Just to put in the corner. So it just shows you on top of your acetate, you can then go ahead and ink that up, and then depending on whether you lay it on the white background of a card or whether you wanted to lay it on the black background of a card, you get a totally different effect. So that's your crystal effect that I've made using some clear acrylic varnish, not even floor polish. I know Sheena does it with the floor polish, but I haven't got any, so I've done that with the clear varnish, and that's worked just as well. So that's your crystal effect.